What's up, everybody? We are going to get started here very soon. Why do I switch this over to me? Um, what's up, everybody? We are going to get started here very soon. Um, Echo here. Get this technical stuff going. Okay, cool. All right, before we get started, just kind of a shout out. Where's everybody joining us from? Just put it in the comments below. Where's everybody joining from? Cool. Georgia, Atlanta, Cleveland, Ohio, Texas, Detroit, PA, Colorado Springs, Florida. I'm trying to read as fast as I possibly can here. Denver, Orlando, LA, Los Angeles, Columbia, South Carolina. I got some land out that way. Atlanta, Pennsylvania. Awesome. Columbus, New York, New Jersey, um, all over the place. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody jumping on. We're going to get started with day one here shortly. For all those that are on time, I want to thank you for being punctual. It means a lot to me. We put a lot of time into putting this together for you over the next few days to show you exactly how you could run a successful private car rental business. Okay. We've had a little technical difficulties with getting our text blast out, so just bear with me, but we will make this happen. Um, I know that well, the finals are tonight. Who does everybody got for the finals? If you watch the NBA, who do you guys have for tonight? I mean, I want San Antonio. I'm trying to get Wembanyama a chip, but Spurs. Yep. So I will try to wrap this up by then because I'm a basketball fan as well, but this is obviously more important. Knicks, yeah. I mean, I'm in Connecticut. Really don't have a basketball team, but we're gonna I mean, either way, it's gonna be a really good series. I don't think we really know who's gonna win, which is pretty awesome, I think, right? All right, so yeah, we'll get started here in a second. And keep in mind, we'll do a Q&A at the end. Today we're going to be going over kind of like the business credit fundamentals. Bridgeport, nice. I'm in CT. I'm in Simsbury, so I'm a couple, maybe an hour and a half from you. So kind of like the business credit fundamentals, why, going off of Turo is easier than it's been in the past and how Turo is, taking a lot of your money. If you are renting cars right now, put yes in the chat. And if you aren't, say I will be. I just want to kind of get a gauge of where everybody's at. Yes, 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 I will be. Awesome, awesome. I will be. Nice. The GOAT. Okay, great. Hartford. Oh, you're right around the corner from me. Okay, cool. All right. Yep. So, um, and then also, if you could just put in the chat how many vehicles you have right now. 3, 8, 1. Okay, 2, 0. Awesome, awesome. 72. Damn. Okay, cool. That's a lot. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. 60. Nice. Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we have some people that are experienced here. We have some people that really don't have as much experience. So I know some of the information I'm explaining to you may, maybe for the people that are, really experienced at 80 cars, you may know already. People that don't know, I kind of have to go through the motions and make sure that I am explaining everything. But we have a lot planned for you over the next couple of days. Let me just get my slides ready here and we'll get started right around 6:05. So we got a couple minutes here. Okay, guys, just bear with me. Okay. All right, cool. All right, let me get over here. You want to start the business? Also, for the people that are renting cars out, another good question to ask is, what type of cars are you renting out? Is it high-end DoorDash drivers, Instacart drivers? Like, what kind of vehicles are you currently renting out? That's good to know. High-end, awesome. Most of my stuff's high-end now. I did start off with more of like the lower end stuff, but I wanted to go over to like the higher end stuff, of course. Okay. Um, and then if you're on Turo now, type Turo. If you're private, type private, please. Okay, okay. Turo, private. Okay, private. Got a little bit of both. Okay. All right. So today we're going after obviously, the disadvantages of staying on Turo, business credit, some tips and tricks of how to do that. And then keep in mind tomorrow we'll go over systems, marketing, all that stuff. And that's when Smitty the Goat is going to jump on tomorrow. He's going to go over how to stack everything for your business credit the correct way. Okay. So let me get my slides here and then we'll get rolling, okay? All right, guys. All right. Share screen. Advanced. All right, let me just get this going for you guys. Can everyone see my screen? If you can, just put one in the chat for me, please. Just make sure you guys can see my screen, okay? Okay, awesome. Okay, so I think we'll get rolling. People have an opportunity to come in. More people will trickle in. There'll obviously be a replay, all that stuff. We're just going to get into it, okay? So how we're going to talk about today is how Turo operators and private car rental business owners hit a minimum of 10K per month and also access up to 100K, some cases more than that in funding, okay? Um, One thing, a fun fact I came across today, which I thought was really, really interesting and really powerful, is that the US car rental industry generated over $40 billion. Yes, billion with a B in 2025. So when I hear people say there's no opportunity here, there's definitely tons of opportunity within the private car rental space. Mark my words on that, okay? So day one today, business credit, private model. We're going to go over the foundations. But what I want everybody to do, just to kind of center everybody, I know that I had a crazy day. There was a lot of things technical we were figuring out at the last minute to make this happen for you. But what I want to do is just have you close your eyes for a second. Just bear with me on this, okay? Close your eyes for a second. Imagine what your life would be like 12 months from now, okay? Imagine that your fleet is growing at the speed you want it to. Your phone is ringing. You have more cars and more people reaching out to you than you actually have cars available. You have more freedom, you have more control, and you have more confidence. One thing you're definitely doing is, driving the exact cars you used to dream about. I think for me, that's a big thing. I, you know, I like I'm a car enthusiast, so I like to drive the cars when they're not rented. You have high-end clients reaching out to you, or if you want to rent for like DoorDash, Instacart, all that stuff, you can. You wake up and you see notifications that people are reaching out to you, and you get to take your family out anywhere you want. Don't look at the bill, just pay for it, right? So these are all things you need to be able to visualize. That was one thing I went over on the morning kind of mindset meeting this morning, is being able to actually visualize the business you're getting into and being able to see that you actually can get there and you could actually be successful in that business. Now, ask yourself, what would it take to become that person, right? Because that's who we're building over the next 3 days. So what I want everybody to do is, grab a pen and paper. Please pause everything else. Put your phone on D&D. Don't scroll on Instagram, all that stuff, and doing all that. Let's just give me this couple hours of undivided attention, because I guarantee you, I'll give you as much value as I possibly can. And then save your questions to the end, because I will be answering all your questions once we're done with the presentation, okay? So why do I want you to stay till the end? Why is that so off? Let me fix this. Sorry, guys. It's like this slide came out different. Because what we're going to do is at the end of this is I'm going to give you guys access to our private Telegram channel. And then we're going to do a 200 cash giveaway inside of the Telegram channel. But you only get the link if you stay to the end. There's going to be a little exercise that we're going to do, but there's something that, can obviously incentivize you guys to participate as well. So let's go. Now, here's what this week is about, just to give you an idea. I don't know why this isn't sizing right. So day one, hold on, guys. Let me change this real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, let me switch back over here. Screens. Okay, that's going to be much better. Okay, awesome. So day one foundation is going to be the real math of, what Turo is costing you every single month, why the private rental model is more profitable opportunity in 2026, and how to build business credit and get a vehicle's 100% in your business name, and why this massive untapped window won't stay open forever. Okay. So on day two, which is tomorrow, of course, we'll get everybody the links and everything. We'll be talking about the private rental system, the insurance we use, portal, the marketing, all that stuff. And we're also going to have a special guest, Smitty the Goat, come on and talk to us a little bit more about business funding as well. Okay. Now, day three, after that, we're going to talk about the auction advantage. So how we're getting vehicles from the auction, how we're financing the vehicles to the auction if we need to. I think a lot of people think that they have to pay cash for vehicles to the auction, but that is not the case. So we do have connections where you could finance those vehicles, how to acquire those cars without getting ripped off, putting the entire system together with all the pieces. I'm going to show you how we're able to rank our clients on the first page of Google pretty much within 60 days. So this is going to be a lot of information we're showing you. And then also how you could use AI to scale your car rental business, not CA business. It's a typo on me, right? And what's happening the next hour is the Turo trap, the private escape, the business credit secret. Okay. So by the end of today, you'll see the game differently. You'll see why the timing is perfect, and you'll also be ready for day two. Okay. But today we'll start with the foundation. The things I'm going to teach you today is not what I think it's or theory. It's actually things I do on an everyday basis. So I've been running a car rental business for about 7 years now, been in marketing for over 20 years now. So I'm one of those people that I try it myself, make sure it works, and then I offer it to other people. I know there's a lot of things people do it the opposite way. They want to figure it out on other people's time. That happened to me when I started off in business, and I don't really like making people feel that way. I don't like presenting a program or a service like that whatsoever. Okay. So day one, business credit private model. Now, a little bit about me before we move on. So for those who haven't heard of me before, you may be asking me this, like, why am I qualified to teach you this? Not because of the cars I have, not because of the money, but one thing I can attest to is that I don't quit. Okay. I just keep going. There's sometimes I do want to quit, but I just keep pushing. So you could challenge my strategies, but you cannot find one person who could prove that I ever gave up on this planet. I can guarantee you that. So my name is James Furman. Um, like many of you, I mean, I had entrepreneur parents. That's kind of where I learned, some of the character traits and skills and things that I learned. I watched them succeed. I watched them fail. But one thing that I feel that I learned from them is just the resiliency. As an entrepreneur, you need to be as resilient as possible. But it wasn't always this easy. When I was 19, I was falsely accused of a crime I didn't commit. I had to withdraw from college at the time and actually do some time. What I decided to do was use the time as wisely as I possibly could. So what I did is I spent every waking moment I possibly could in the library reading, about business, how to write a business plan, how to build a team, how to stay motivated. And that's what kind of kept me motivated and focused when I was in there. When I got out, I started my business plan when I was locked up, and I turned that business plan into $1 million business within 2 years of getting out. Okay, so that's what I like to tell you. Life will test you. Life give everyone lessons, and I still get lessons to this day, but you just got to keep pushing forward. Some are enjoyable, some are painful, but the question isn't why is this happening to me? The question is, what is this trying to teach me? That's what everybody know. And I think what happens with a lot of people is what they'll do is they will just get completely taken out when something negative happens to them. They need to think about what is the lesson here, right? Don't just let it beat you up so much where you just stop and you quit. That is just not an option. So business was going well. I had, I was doing good money up until, over the years, and then COVID hit. At the time, I was doing 50K a month recurring, just coming in without even working. Um, had no income coming in. That's when I listed my first cars on Turo. What I did is kind of what everybody else does. Let me go get a bunch of cars. I leverage my business credit. I threw them on Turo. I cross my fingers and I hope for the best. Now, what we like to do is a different approach. We like to build the demand in your area, very strong demand in your area, and then get the vehicles. We like to do it a little bit opposite now, but we're going to get into the marketing stuff day two. But here's my first fleet that I had. I literally just followed Turo's blueprint. I was like, get a Fiat, I got a Fiat, I got a minivan. So, obviously that works in the beginning, but I followed that, and this is my first fleet back in like 2021 or something like that. So what I did is I realized that Turo was eating my margins. So I had the marketing experience. I knew how to market. I knew how to run ads. I knew how to get on the first page of Google. So I was like, why don't I just implement the same strategies I've used for all my clients over the years into the car rental space? So I leveraged tools like AI, ranked my business on the first page of Google within a couple months, but I was still on Turo. But once I was on, well, I was still on Turo, then I had to figure out how to go private, which is what I'm going to show you as well. So up until this point now, I've helped over 400 operators go fully private, over 10 million in counting and funding. I have some clients hitting 15 to 35K a month that are off of the platform. Okay. So what I'm going to teach you, like I said, is not theory. Is exactly what I did and what my clients are actually doing right now. But if you knew how big this opportunity really is, you'd wonder why you wasted a single day giving 30% of your money to Turo, right? So what I believe is in every single market, there is a massive demand for cars. The key is being able to be found online when people are searching for you. So if you're not ranking your site the correct way, if you're not using the right keywords, if you're not being super, super aggressive when it comes to ranking your site, you're not going to be found. So if you could be found, they actually obviously could find you. And there's also almost zero supply of professional operators who know how to capture it. So there's more people struggling in this space than are successful, correct? So the window, I believe, is wide open right now because it's so new. Most markets are not tapped. The operators who move first, I believe, are going to dominate the most. So every day, more operators are catching on. Every single day, this gets more crowded. So you're here before 99% of them because once these operators start implementing and combining AI tools, they're going to outrate the competition. So the opportunity is closing as the days go on. So timing equals leverage. So the next 72 hours could ultimately change everything for you. Okay. Put a one in the chat if you guys are following me so far. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Now, before we fix this, let's talk about why I've been stuck. And I'm going to go through the Turo section rather quickly because I do understand. That's why I wanted to ask before we started that there are people on here that are private. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the Turo section and then go over to the business credit. So if you are private already, you obviously already understand this, but I do need to explain this to the people that are still on Turo. Hopefully you understand. So the same advice you give everyone else, buy cash cars, which is not a problem. I don't think cash cars is a huge problem. There's just different strategies based on the type of business you want to run. If you want to rent to DoorDash workers, Instacart workers, obviously cash car is the way to go. I have plenty of clients that do it that way. People are putting everything in their personal name. You have no idea how many people I talk to every single day. They come on, they have 7, 8, 9 cars in their business name. And then what they'll do is they'll stay on Turo and grind. So we want to stop putting vehicles in our business name, okay? So what do all three have in common? They require money you don't have. They damage your personal credit, which you don't want to do because when you damage your personal credit, you look to the banks like you're unfundable, like you're over leveraged. So we want to put everything in our business name every single time, okay? And another thing Turo does is keep you trapped in a platform prison. So one single insight equals $10,000 a month in kept profit. That's what tonight is about. But the problem most people have is you train your body, you train your business, you train your skills, but you neglect the most important things, which is your mind and your heart, which is going to take you further in business than you think. Because when it gets tough, those are the things that need to be intact. And those are the things that push you through. People are like, oh, I'll grind it out. I'll grind it out. That only lasts so long, believe me. Okay. So I also need to address something. Most of you, I believe, have a voice in your head right now. That voice is basically telling you, why this would work and why this wouldn't work before you even started, before you even got onto this. Be like, oh, I'll still listen, but that negative voice needs to go away. Okay. I've heard every version of it. Let me call them out one by one. I can't go private because my credit is bad. I hear this every single day, but here's what you don't know. Business credit is completely separate than your personal credit score. There are banks that don't even pull your personal credit score. And I'm going to show you guys how to get a vehicle 100% in your business name without even touching your personal credit. But obviously, we want to get, hold on, oops. Hold on, sorry guys. Just did. Hold on, sorry about that. I don't have clues. So, we want to obviously get the cars in your business name, but there was a client that we started working with. When he started working with, he was about 680. And what we did is we helped him get $175,000 in funding, 5 vehicles from the auction in his business credit within 5 weeks. So let me play a little clip of this. Just bear with me for a second. Sorry, guys. So this one second. I just want to play this clip and just let me know once I start playing this to make sure that you guys could hear it okay, all right? All right, there we go. All right, so, all right. Okay, back on here. So let me know if you guys can hear this okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you could hear it. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna play this and then we'll go on from there, okay?
Or how much on the business side and how much on the personal side?
Business side, I think we're at $83,000 in available credit. And personal, it's very close to the same. I think about 78,000.
Cool. So when Dan started, like I said, his credit wasn't perfect. He didn't know what banks to go after. We were able to help him actually secure the funding, get some vehicles in his business name, and keep the business going. So credit's not the main problem because there are ways to either fix the credit, manipulate the credit, or go in your business name. So there's definitely options. The main thing is knowing what to do and knowing what to do. A lot of people just don't even know how to properly read a credit report. So the number 2 lie is I'm too small. I have 1 or 2 vehicles. I need to be bigger before I can make the move. How many people think that their fleet is too small to go private right now? Put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like, I'll just stay on Turo and just wait it out. How many people think their fleet is too small to go private? Okay. So we're gonna get into why you put it 2. I said 1. You can't hear? How many people can you guys can hear me? Okay. If you can't hear me, you got to turn up your volume a little bit. That's probably what's going on right now. So this is the lie that keeps people on for Turo for years, okay? The lie is that you have to have a small fleet. I'm sorry, the lie, I think I missed a slide there, but the lie is basically telling you have to stay on there, have to keep it easy and everything. So here's another one of my clients that came to me. They did have a small fleet. I think it was only like 6 or 8 cars at the time. She was about to give up because what happens on Turo, which I think is beneficial, or what happens is people are on Turo and they're actually stuck on there and they're price shopping, right? So here's another client we work with. We helped her go from Turo to private and hold on. And I know that you guys obviously saw like an increase in like rentals and everything. How have the phone calls been going?
We're getting phone calls and we're not able to keep up.
We're not able to what?
Keep up.
Keep up. Okay, well, it's a good problem to have.
I probably get about, I say between 3 and 5 calls a day, people asking to rent, and we don't be having the car, like we be sold out.
Yeah. And then I know, just tell me a little bit about like how it was when you first started, like from till now, like what's the difference from when you guys first started working with us?
When we first started, it was bad. We were on Turo. And around here, there's a lot of competition. So a lot of guests were lowering their prices on Turo. So we would have to like, lower our price on Turo and not basically get anything
Mhm.
back to Turo after they get their 30%. And I was thinking, after actually selling off some of the cars before I got in contact.
Yeah. What would you say to, I guess, anyone that's like on the fence about making a decision to work with me and the team?
It's well worth it.
Awesome. So how many people would want to have a minimum of 5 calls to their private car rental business every single day? Put a 1 in the chat if that's something you think would help you out, help you grow. This is where we need to get you to the point where you're getting more phone calls than you have vehicles available, okay? So you don't need more cars to go private, you just need the right system, because the way you look at it is, say you have 1 car and your profit is $500 in that 1 vehicle. If you're off Turo, the profit could double, maybe 1.5 times more than that, okay? So going private is too risky. The line number 3, what if I lose my customers? Let me flip this around. Staying on Turo, I believe, is the risk. 1 policy, 1 algorithm update, 1 account suspension, 1 canceled trip, 1 thing can happen and things can change. And I believe that people that are on Turo can attest to this. And I actually got kicked off of Turo before. And people in the chat, if you want to, so good question. It's just, no, it's not just for people. We're just laying down the baseline. Believe me, we'll get into all this. This is why this is 3 days. So just please bear with me. Appreciate it. So everything is built, is gone every night. Well, when you go private, you own the customer database. No one can take that from you. Line number 4 is, I don't know how to get customers without Turo. So that's not a reason to stay on Turo. That's exactly what day 2 is for, is how to get the marketing, how the systems, and how to build up that clientele where you have a lead list. Right now I have 4,000 leads in my database. And if it is ever slow, which it isn't, I could just shoot out a mass text message and get those people in. So you need to be able to own that database. So tomorrow we'll go through those systems and show you that. But first, let's make the pain real. Let's talk about what Turo is actually costing you. Every time someone books your car on Turo, they take anywhere from 10 to 35%. So people that don't know about Turo, it's a car sharing platform. You can list your car, and they'll take a piece of it. And yes, insurance is a big piece. I see you saying that, Giovanni, which we do have insurance options. We will go over with you as well. Okay. That's before you pay insurance, that's before you pay maintenance, that's before you pay anything at all. So let's do the math here. Now, a couple of cars that I have right now, let's just say that you have 2 cars, just for simple math, $1,500 a month per car on Turo, $3,000 a month gross. Turo takes 30% because you're on a good insurance plan. You don't want to pay a high deductible. That's $900 a month going every single month. So over 12 months, that's $10,800 per year, right? So just in Turo fees on 2 cars, right? Now, let's say you have 3 cars doing about the same. That's $4,500 a month gross, right? They take $1,350 a month over 12 months. That's $16,200 per year that's gone. Now, I want you to actually already asked you guys how many cars you have right now. But let's ask you something else right now. If you are on Turo, which insurance plan are you on? Is it on we have people answering this. Okay. You guys keep asking this. I did ask in the beginning because we were people 70-30. Okay. So what insurance plan are you, if you are on Turo, which one are you on currently? 90-10. Okay. Awesome. 80-20. Okay. 80-20. Cool. Okay. 90-10, 90-10, not bad. Okay. 90-10 is not bad. Obviously you have a $2,500 deductible. That's the only one. But 70-30, I was on like the 60-40 plan because I got a couple of accidents and I didn't want to deal with the insurance anymore. So I just was on the highest one. I should have done it differently. You're new. Okay, cool. So now multiply that $5,400. That's roughly what Turo is taking from you every single year per car. Write that number down. That's the money you earned. That's the money you worked for. That's money you put your cars on the line for, okay? And Turo, I like to say did nothing. Obviously, they did something for you, but they didn't buy the car. They didn't do the maintenance and do any of that stuff for you. But the fees aren't even the worst part. The worst part is what you don't own. You don't own the customer relationship. You don't own the database. You don't control the pricing. Turo does. You don't control the rules. Turo does. When you have your business and you're 100% private, which some of you are, you basically get to direct, to change. And I want to say, you get to create the messaging. You get to create the rules. You get to determine your deposit. You get to determine all of it. So that's all in your control. So at any moment, they could change the fees, they could change the policies, or suspend your account. You have no recourse. You just have no equity at that point. So that's the platform prison. So the ones that are on Turo, just type stuck if this hits home with you and you can relate to it. Type stuck in the comments, please. Cool. Okay. Let me get a sip of water here, guys. 1 second. All right. So here's what nobody tells you. Going private is not harder. It's actually safer because you obviously own the customer. You control the pricing. You keep 100% of the revenue. Okay. And you're building real equity in a business. So let's look at the numbers side by side again. If you have a 3-car fleet, they're taking about 16,200. You keep 37.8. There's a couple of the cars I have in my fleet right now. They 3-car fleet, if you're obviously 100% private, there's no platform fees, which is pretty simple, right? The difference is an additional $1,600 in your pocket every single year. So write that down. So if you have a 5-car fleet, the numbers just get bigger and bigger and bigger. You guys understand where I'm going with this, right? So we want to be able to put ourselves in a position to keep all of the money. If we're going to work and we're going to put ourselves out there, we need to keep all of the money. 5-car fleet, same thing. It just, the numbers get bigger. So the difference is with a 5-car fleet, it's almost an additional 30K in your pocket. Because what I've understood on the private side, I could charge more because people aren't aware of the different pricing. The people that come through on Google from a Google search for me, they're not aware of Turo whatsoever. They don't even know what Turo is. And I know people think that, but we have to cater to those people at all. So if you look at it, that's a down payment on a house. That's 2 more cars, and it's sitting in Turo's pocket right now. So type private in the chat. If you're on Turo, you want that money back. Cool. Okay. So the way I look at it this way, when you're on Turo, you're a commodity. When you're private, you're a premium service. Okay. I market mine as like a white glove service. And people love that. You know, I know enterprise picks you up and drops you off, but it's people don't want to work with the larger car name companies anymore. But your car has to be your business has to be branded the right way so people can find you. Okay. Yes, we're gonna go. Everything you guys are asking me is gonna happen. Let's just please be patient. You did sign up for a 3-day event, so there's a lot to cover, right? We have to cover the baseline, okay? So the top 1% of operators aren't fighting for $50 a day bookings. They're securing larger contracts. I don't know about 5,000. I might want to change that. I do have some cars that go out for like 2,500, 3K a month, 3K a week, depending on the vehicle. But that's what we're doing. But let me be completely honest with you. You aren't going to build a 6-figure private fleet by tomorrow morning. It's going to take you about 15 days to get funding, depending on your situation, 15 days to get the cars, and 90 days to get you to a minimum of 10K per month. That's what we can do for you, even from scratch. Now, if you're already at that mark, we'll say an additional 10K per month, okay? I know some people, if you have 80 cars, you're doing well more than that, but we're trying to talk to the medium person here, right? So the next 90 days will pass anyway, so you could either give them 30% or you could spend the entire time building your own empire. So if you're more interested in building your own empire than someone else's, put empire in the chat for me, please. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. All right, let's keep going, guys. Okay. So the number one reason I say people are trapped is the, let me see, hold on a second. Let me just check something real quick, guys. Give me one moment. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's kind of gauge everybody in here. How comfortable, or how, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being an expert on business credit, and one being a novice, what would you say you are 1 to 10 when it comes to business credit? 7, 3, 3, 9. Okay, okay, okay. 1, 2, 5. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. So business credit is completely separate from personal credit, okay? But you need the right foundation first. Now, first thing you definitely need is an LLC. If you're getting a car financed in your business name, most banks want you to have a LLC that's a minimum of 1 year old. That's what I've seen, right? The older the better. The older the LLC is, the less risk it seems to the bank and the more open they're going to be to obviously fund you. Okay. But the thing is, where I see a lot of times is your LLC needs to be set up correctly. Okay. Yeah, how many times I have people that come in for their car rental business and I ask them, what's your LLC name? And they say, Bob's Private Car Rental Service. It's just not going to work. So to the banks, what that looks like is high risk. We don't want to be high risk. So what you want to do in these situations is you want to, oops, let me go back. What you want to do in these situations is use the words like enterprise, solutions, holdings. Those words in LLC are very general. They're very broad. They're not going to cause any red flags. They're not going to cause any attention to the bank, right? So I have one that's like solution strategies. I have one that's stellar growth strategies, things like that. You just don't want to have the car rental in there. And you also want to use a very low risk NAICS code. The NAICS code is what's going to classify your business for the business type that it is. Group works. So the NAICS code that I like to use right now, and you guys can write this down, is 541613. That's internet marketing. It's very general. And I know a lot of people on here have been instructed to use like the general consulting NAICS code. The general NAICS code that people use is like 541611. Yeah, the code I use is 541613. Is that what you're asking to repeat? Put a one in the chat. Okay, cool. So you guys have that. Okay. So low risk NAICS code is important. That sets the foundation. 541613, setting a very general LLC name is super important. And then what I usually do, how many of you know what a PayDex score is? Put a one in the chat if you know what a PayDex score is. One. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So there are financing institutions that you can go to that you can get vehicles financed in your business name with just the 80 PayDex score and a LLC that's at least 1 year old. Okay. So that's why I want to get you an 80 PayDex score. So the way to get you to an 80 PayDex score is to get different trade lines reporting. So there's different ways that you could do this. I know a lot of people have done like net 30s in the past. There's Credit Strong that will apply a literal primary account onto your business credit. You could buy, reporting for like NAB. You could self-report things, or you could do the traditional net 30 route. But there's Credit Safe, there's Credit Strong. There's ways that you could buy trade lines onto your business that will get you to an 80 PayDex score. Now, there's certain vendors that report to the different bureaus. These are the main bureaus that we focus on: Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, and the SBFE. Now, some vendors won't report to Dun & Bradstreet, some will. Now, business credit cards usually report to Experian. Your vehicles report to Experian. Equifax would be other loans and things, but you want to have a balanced profile. And usually the way it works is whatever is reporting and is actually positive and in good standing on your business credit, the bank will use that as leverage to be able to put more cards in your business name. Okay. So let me go on. So when you have this foundation in place, the door is open for you. Another route that people take in the beginning, as opposed to going, let me back up and show you guys how you can get a vehicle in your business name without even using your personal credit. If you guys want me to show you that, put a one in the chat. I'll show you how you can get a Mercedes in your business name without even touching your personal credit. Okay. All right. Let me find that for you. I think it's this one. Okay. So, all right. All right, so let me start here. So this is strictly on the business side. I'm going to talk more about like how you can leverage your personal credit to get 0% interest business cards in a second. But let's talk more about the just 100% in the business credit name, okay? Without even using your personal credit. So first thing is, like I said, 80 paydex score. There's plenty of ways to do this. There's multiple ways to do this. I have, a breakdown of how to do this I can share with everybody. So you could use like the Credit Strong, you could use the credits, I forgot the other one. NAV reporting, there's a lot of things you could do, but first thing you want to do is get to an 80 paydex score. This is considered like tier 1 in your business credit, right? Once these are reporting, you're at an 80 paydex score through Dun & Bradstreet. And if you don't know what that is, basically Dun & Bradstreet will give you a DUNS number. If you have an LLC right now, basically what you'll do is you're going to call up Dun & Bradstreet. You're going to say, hey, I want a DUNS number, okay? If you want to expedite it, you pay like $300. If you want to wait 30 days, you wait 30 days. So get your paydex to 80 or higher. And then tier 2, you're going to add a couple gas cars. I think a Shell account, a BP account. And then you got to wait for those to report. If you want to see what's reporting, you could get NAV. NAV's a little bit slow because nav.com is a data aggregator. So sometimes it doesn't report everything. So if you want to run a true credit report for your business, you could just go to Experian and run a business credit report. Okay. Same thing, same way you run it on the personal side, you can run on the business side. So once it's tier 1, tier 2 reports, make sure they, excuse me, make sure they report. Usually this process probably takes 30 to 60 days. Business credit does not report as quickly as personal credit. But once they report tier 1, tier 2, you basically go to Mercedes-Benz Financial, go to the business option and apply for the vehicle. Here's a little trick you could do. You could do this at 2 dealerships at the same time in 2 different states, and it will only, and you can get multiple vehicles. Because one thing about business credit, which is different from personal credit, we all know that personal credit, it penalizes you the more that you run it. It's not the same on the business side. They're not going to penalize you and list all these inquiries and say, hey, I got, this amount of inquiries, and it's going to really put you in a bad situation, okay? All right, so let me go back. Does this make sense? Put a 1 in the chat. This makes sense to everybody. Okay. Cool. Okay. And we'll dive into this more later, but I just want to give you guys an idea. There are ways to get cars 100% in your business name without touching your personal credit. Now, let's say you want to get these cars leveraging your personal credit, which is usually the fastest way to do it. And it's usually what people do more times than none. Okay. So another way, let me see, go here, slideshow. Okay, cool. All right, so 0% interest business credit cards. I want you guys to look at this the same way you would look at, I want to look at credit card stacking the same way you would look at vehicle stacking. Okay. Now, oops. What I'm going to do is let me do this a little bit differently for you guys. I'm going to go through the funding sequence and kind of the requirements that are needed. Okay. So if I were to show you guys how to get like $150,000 in business funding, is that something you'd want to hear? Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to explain that to you. Okay. So now here's the first thing. And I want you to look at this the same way you would look at going to multiple banks as going to multiple, I don't want to say dealerships, but financial institutions that will put vehicles in your business name. And that's almost every single dealership out there. They will allow it. And another place you can go where you can get vehicles in your business name is your local credit unions. A lot of people don't know that. So the same way you could credit card stack is the same way that you could vehicle stack. So look at it the same way, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to have a 720 credit score on all 3 bureaus. People say over 700, but sometimes it fluctuates. Just to be safe, let's do 720. You want to have no negative items whatsoever, credit card utilization under 25%, and you want to have minimal inquiries, I would say 4 or less. Like I mentioned before, ensure your LLC is in a low risk category, it's structured the correct way, everything matches online, you're good to go. What I would do is I would start with Chase. I would deposit 2K. I would season it for 10 days. And then I would apply with a relationship manager at the bank. Don't ever apply online. That's the last thing you want to do. When you apply online, what happens is an algorithm picks it up. They spit out a number that you're going to hate. It's going to be like $3,000, $2,000, where you can get a $50,000, $75,000 credit card from Chase if you do it the right way. Chase, and what the most important thing of this, it's all stated income. You don't ever want to go to a bank and say, "Hey, let me get, one of those no doc loans." They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Now, there's certain thresholds to the amount of money that you could state per bank where it wouldn't raise any red flags and ask you for additional documentation. So with Chase, they'll usually give you 10% of what you state. But with Chase, you want to not go too much above $500,000 in revenue for your business, because what's going to happen there, if you go higher, they may ask for documentation. So I like to stay around $525,000 for stated income, and they'll give you 10% of that, which is a $50,000 credit card. That's at 0%, right? So what a lot of people in the car rental industry will do is they'll take the 50K and they'll liquidate it, and then they'll have 0% interest for a whole year. You don't have to liquidate the whole thing, but maybe you liquidate 15, 20,000 of it. Go buy your cash cars if you don't want to finance the vehicles, and then obviously pay the car down as much as you can before the year kicks in. Okay. Is this making sense? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are following me on this. All right, cool. So then what I would do is, there is a site, I forgot the name of the site, but I'm gonna tell you guys real quick if I can find it. I think it's helpmebuildcredit.com. So helpmebuildcredit.com, you'll be able to pull it up. It's going to tell you which bank if the bank in your state, what bureau it pulls from. That's important because you need to know. I'm pretty sure Chase pulls from Experian. Yes, everything's being recorded. I'm pretty sure the Chase pulls from Experian. US Bank is TransUnion, depending on where you're located. First Citizens, I'm not 100% sure. Amex is one of the banks where you could apply for 4 cards in a row, and it will only be 2 inquiries because 2 of their cards pull from TransUnion, 2 of their cards pull from Experian, depending on your state. But you're going to want, the hell's all those bubbles? But you're going to want to check with your bank, with your state first, to see where they pull from, right? So this is the sequence I would do. So Chase, Amex, I would do Truist, Bank of America. With Bank of America, you could basically go to a relationship manager inside of the bank. Wells Fargo is another good one too. You can go to a relationship manager inside the bank, and they'll let you apply for 3 or 4 credit cards with 1 inquiry. Okay. Now, another reason why it's important to put these things in your business name, because if an account is reporting on your business side, it will not report on your personal credit. You will get an inquiry. That's why it's important to know where they pull from. I don't know what you mean by season, but we'll go back to that. There will be a playback. So that's why it's important to know where they pull from, because you need to kind of stack it. You don't want to get too many Experian hits on one day. You don't want to get too many TransUnion hits on one day. So it reports on your business side. You do get inquiries. Now, how many people want to know how to remove those inquiries off your personal credit when they do hit? Even though that the card will report in the business name, how many people want to know how to remove it off your personal credit? Because then you can go to another bank that pulls from Chase, another bank that pulls from TransUnion, and stack it up. You guys see where I'm coming from, right? And if you run out of banks, you can get what's called a foreign entity in another state and run the play all over again. Okay. Now, this is legally how to take the bank's money, but I think a lot of people are scared of banks, and the main goal is like they want to give you money. So what I would do in that situation, how I would remove the inquiry off of my credit is I didn't get enough people to say that they want me to show them how to do this. So I need a 1 in the chat for everyone to show me if you want me to show you how to remove the inquiries. Okay, cool. So let's say I go to Chase, I go to US Bank, First Citizen, all these things. I got 2 inquiries on each bureau. What I'm going to do is I am going to use this simple script. Okay. I'm going to call Experian. You're going to enter your social, all that good stuff. You're going to say, hey, I noticed some unauthorized inquiries on my report, or noticed someone applied for something in my name. And this is you guys don't have to use this if you don't want to, but it works like a charm. Inform them according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. These are legally unverified and unauthorized and must be removed. There's absolutely no way that they could verify these because they are reporting your business name. You basically list all of your accounts. They may ask you if you submitted a report. Just say yes. They'll literally be off your account within 2 to 3 days. I've done it numerous times. Type of 1 in the chat if there's something you did not know about. Cool. This is why people always preach business credit, because you literally could just go to the next bank, remove the inquiry, go to the next bank, remove the inquiry, go to the next bank, remove the inquiry. It's that simple. Okay. Now let me get back to, so I want you to think of this the same way that you're doing the business funding stack as you would do with vehicles, right? So what I would do if I were you is I would say, okay, I'm in Connecticut. I'm in New Haven. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to like 4 or 5 credit unions in my area. I'm going to say, hey, can I finance a vehicle in my business name with this credit union? They're probably going to say yes. And then you just basically ask them what bureau they pull from. The same exact strategy that I just showed you when it comes to credit card stacking, you could do with vehicle stacking. Okay. So you can go to GM Financial. They may or may not run your credit, remove the inquiry. You can go to Toyota Business Department, do the same thing. You literally could just run the same play I just showed you with vehicles, with local credit unions in your area. We do it all the time. Okay. Type 1 in the chat. This is making sense for everybody. Okay. All right. So let me get back over here. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So like I said, never apply online. You definitely don't want to do that. Always apply in person, and you want to build a banking relationship with these people. And people are like, what is a banking relationship? It's literally just going in, shaking a hand, let them know what you're going to do. Business is growing. I just got a new contract. I need marketing service. I need to hire more employees. What can you do for me? Like I said, you never ever want to go in there, and you never ever want to say that you are with a car rental company, because it's high risk, and they're literally just they're not gonna, they may loan you something, but they're not gonna loan you as much. Okay. So I went over the inquiry. Let me just catch up here, guys. So just before we do that, type credit in the chat if you learned something just from that little exercise I just gave you just now. Type of credit in the chat. Awesome. Okay. All right. So what I want to do now is talk about another client we work with. Let me just move back over here. Okay. So we do have another client. I will play a testimonial with him in a little bit. We helped him get about 10 cars from the auction. He converted fully to private. He's doing 15 to 20K a month, saving a little bit over 5K a month in fees. Okay. I'll play a little testimonial of him in a second. Joseph was another client we work with. He was breaking even on Turo, went private, revenue up 100 to 150%. Said that if he had started 6 months earlier, he'd have 5 more cars by now. So these are the type of stories that we love to hear. Okay. So these are real results, real people. Type possible if you believe that a business like this is possible for you. Type possible in the chat for me, please. So what I'm going to get into now is a little bit more of tax strategies and why you shouldn't be paying any taxes with your car rental business, especially when you're growing, especially within the first year. Okay. So what I like to do is at least once, twice a year, depending on how much money I make, is I will get a vehicle that's over 6,000 pounds, which qualifies for Section 179. Type of 1 in the chat if you're familiar with what Section 179 is. And ever since Donald Trump's big bill that he passed recently, you could write off 100% of the value of the vehicle within the first year that you purchase it. Okay. So even if it's a used car, let's say you get a used Tahoe, you paid $50,000 for it, you could write off $50,000 of it. So if you only made $50,000 in income that year, you buy that vehicle, it zeroes out your taxes. You don't pay anything. Now, with vehicles that are not over 6,000 pounds, you only could write off like expenses, maybe the payment, gas, things like that. You can't write off the whole value of the vehicle, but that's why you want to plan your tax strategy the correct way. And you shouldn't be paying any taxes. But what I love about the car rental business is even if you still own it, yes, yep, correct. So what I love about the car rental business is you can get a car that's over that was 6,000 pounds. Like I got a Escalade. It was like I think I paid like $85,000 for it. So $85,000 tax write-off first year. Not only am I getting a tax write-off, I'm also making money on it at the same time. Feels like a hack it life, right? So these are important things to know. But what I notice in the private car rental space is people don't track things the correct way. Just because this is a write-off, just because all this is happening, you definitely want to make sure you're tracking everything the correct way, which we'll show more tomorrow, how the back end tracks all your expenses, all that good stuff. Okay. So before we get into homework tonight, I want to take a few minutes for people who are serious about going to the next level. So what we're doing is we are opening a small group of spots to work directly with me and Smitty. This will be a mentorship, not a course, not a program you buy and forget. This is type serious in the chat. This is something you want to hear about now because I'm going to go over it anyway. So the only door in is by applying to work with us. Okay. So what we're going to do is the people that are serious now, and this is why I get you on day one, is you're gonna apply for this spot. And keep in mind, we all know Smitty charges $20,000, $30,000. If I'm gonna mentor you, I charge 15. So it's like this will give you the opportunity to work with both of us, but we need an application because it's very limited. No, I'm saying that's what we usually charge. So yeah, so if you were to hire us, let me go back, sorry. So if you were to hire us individually, it would combine to be over 40K. It's not going to be anywhere near that, just so you guys know. So what we're going to do is we're only taking on anywhere from 15 to 20 people. So in order to secure one of those spots or apply for it, we need to have you guys fill out a short application. Okay. What I want you to think of is, 6 months from now, the people who get in tonight will be the ones, teaching you how to do this or showing their family members how to do it. So don't be the person watching from the sidelines. What I want you to do is imagine your life a year from now, with a private fleet of cars, access to business credit, no longer dependent on Turo. That's what we're building. So, I feel that if you're in this business and you're going this direction, you're going to pay for this education either way. So you either pay us to show you the exact blueprint or you pay with the mistakes. And believe me, I have made pretty much every single mistake in this business, and it's going to cost you a ton of money if you make any mistakes. And before you say, I don't have the money, Smitty will also be in your corner. We'll have financing options. We'll get you funded. So money is really not the excuse for this. So what I want to do is, if you're serious about, working with us and submitting the application, put a 1 in the chat because I want to at least get the application out to you. And obviously, if you're not serious, you could still show up for the days, but I'm trying to separate the people that are actually interested in this so we can, maybe secure those spots, but we're still going to be going over the final days. Don't worry about that. Okay. All right. So if, can we put the application in the, chat, please, for everybody, if you don't mind? Oh, actually, it's right there. So did everyone see the QR code on the screen? Just type yes. What I want you to do is scan that. Okay. For everyone that is interested in just putting the application in, because like I said, 15 to 20 people only. But I do need an application to see who's really serious. But anybody else that wants to jump on for, day 2, day 3, all that stuff, by all means, please do that. Okay, so can we pin that message in there, Hayden, please? Is it possible to do that? The application is free. There's no, but basically we're just kind of seeing who's serious to kind of take this to the next step, but we're still on for day 2. We're still meeting with Smitty tomorrow. We're still going to show you guys the market. Wait till I show you the marketing piece of this, how we're able to rank everybody on the first page of Google. So did everyone get the application link that's in the chat? Okay. I'm gonna see if we could pin this. Hold on. Keep dropping it in there. And let's get it going, okay? There's the check. Okay. So while you guys are filling that out, it's in there, it's in the type form, okay? Close mouth don't get fed. We're gonna go over all that tomorrow, but I guarantee you that the bonus that we give you tomorrow is something that's never happened before. I'm actually shocked that it's happening myself. So you guys don't have to purchase anything. We just want to see who's applying to see who's really serious about this opportunity. Because then, we could say, okay, these are the people we focus on as far as they want to build, and that just shows us who we need to, work with. Okay. So while you're filling out the application, let me show you what's possible right now. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Put a 1 in the chat.
How are the private rentals going right now?
Yeah, well, I have 7 cars and I've converted 5 of them totally over to my private rental. So right now things are going great.
That's my fault, guys. I muted to talk. And let me start this over. Sorry. All right. Sorry about that.
5 of them totally over to my private rental. So right now things are going great. Like I very rarely have cars not rented right now. So yeah, I really have
Nice. And are you seeing like more like being able to charge a little bit more on the private side, like how the revenue compared to where you were just
man, it's way different.
as far as the phone calls and the leads, how has that been going for you? The people you're getting from the marketing that we're doing?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of calls, like more than, as a matter of fact, I'm having to turn people away because I
Nice.
don't have inventory. Like I'm saying, most of my cars are staying rented out. So right now the calls are going well, almost a little bit too well.
I know that we helped you get some vehicles from the auction. How did that process go?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It sounds like it's time to get you some more cars.
Look, I
Yeah.
literally could handle 3, maybe even 4 more cars. MW, who has been renting that out every week for the past 4 weeks.
Nice. That's good. That's a great problem to have for sure. So what would you say to someone that's on Turo? They've been struggling to go private with the website, all that good stuff, and they're really hesitant to make the decision with us. What would you tell them to do?
Now that one is it's too hard to go private on your own. It just did. And you guys take all of the background work, you take the proven processes, and you stair-stepped me through that process. And you answered my questions.
Yeah. The support is definitely a big thing, and I think we're just getting things going with you, and looking forward to continue with you in the future. I appreciate you doing the video with us.
Awesome, guys. So hopefully everyone heard that right. So type 1 in the chat if you want your private car with the business to have this testimonial a couple months from now, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build this the correct way from the beginning. We're trying to give you the right systems that you could scale on. We're trying to show you exactly what you need in order to grow this business the correct way. That's the most important thing. So let me go on. Did everyone get the application submitted? If you're still working on it, it's okay. So when you're finished, drop a done in the chat so I know I can see what's going on with everybody. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Cool. I love action takers. I love people that do it right away. Obviously, if you need the link again, we're gonna drop the application link again. Hayden, can you drop the application link again in there for me, please? I think I have it right here. There it is. Okay, cool. So I just put it, so it's that type form. So we need that if you want us, to, obviously, if you want to apply for us to grow everything for you, apply, because we're taking 15 to 20 people. If you just want to learn, by all means, we're here to teach you. We have a lot more coming on day 2, of course, okay? So you have 2 quick steps for your homework tonight, okay? This isn't going to be one of those things where you just listen and you don't provide some information as well from you. So what I want to do is I want to put you all, the action takers, everyone that's on this call, in a private Telegram group. Hayden, is there a link we could provide to these people for a private Telegram group? Because only the people that are in there are going to be eligible for what I'm going to do next for you. Little promo I have for you. Okay. But I know some people are driving, so it's hard to scan this. So what we're going to do is put the link in the chat so you guys have it. But what we're going to do here is we are going to I don't know if I have this worksheet. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so let's make this easy. Sorry, guys, I should have made this a little bit simpler for you, but let me pull this up real quick. So what I want to do is I want to make this easy for you, okay? So inside of the Telegram group, whether it's going to be in the private one that you guys receive. Hold on. Copy. Let me just get this link over to you guys because I don't want people that haven't showed up and listened to this to have an option. There it is. So does everyone see the Telegram group in the chat? Type of 1 if you do. Just came from James Furman. Okay, cool. So join that Telegram group, okay? And here's what I want you to do. You're not going to pull I want to make it simple. You're going to say hold on. I'm actually going to change this a little bit and make it easier for you. So I want you to do a video, okay? I want you to actually do a video where you're going to say, I want to know everyone's goals. I want to know how many cars you want to get to. So step 1 is how many cars, what your revenue goal wants to be, what that means for your business, and if you're all in and you're going to show up to all 3 days. I need to know that. So what's your revenue goal? How many cars? What it does for you and your family? And also if you're all in for all 3 days. It's a short video. That's all I need you guys to do. Okay. How many people think they could record a short video? Put a 1 in the chat. Okay. So what I'm going to do, if you do this, is I am going to, here's the Telegram group. Hold on. I could copy and paste this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a video. The questions are, how many vehicles you want to have in your fleet? Going to be, what's your revenue goal? It's going to be what that does for you and your family. And also, are you all in on all 3 days? That's it. Okay. We'll get you in there. If you can't join, we'll figure that out. Let me pull this up and make sure that you guys can see this. There's the QR code again. So you can drive that channel. I know this is a separate channel you're in. I'm not going to, so I'm going to put the questions in here. So what's your rev goal? How many cars? Not put how many cars, not how many. We don't want to do the whole cars. How many cars? What it does for you and your family? It's not letting people. Who has been able to join? Who hasn't been able to join? Have you been able, guys? Okay. All right. Okay. And are you all in for the 3 days? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna just share this again for you guys. All right, cool. All right. So that's what we're gonna do for now. Okay, and then what to do is the best video. We're gonna pick a video and we're gonna basically give you guys a $200 bonus on day 2 tomorrow. We'll pick a video, okay? All right. Now let's talk about what's coming tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow we're gonna talk about the private car rental system. We're gonna talk about a deeper dive into the systems, the operations. We're gonna have Smitty the Goat on day 2 tomorrow. If you guys know, he's pretty much all over the internet. How many people are familiar with Smitty the Goat? Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of him before. Okay, Hayden, could you drop the Telegram link in the chat, please, for me? Okay, awesome. All right, cool. So he's going to walk you through accessing 100 to 175,000 there. Business funding I did, but he knows way more about the business funding than I do. Even if you've been denied before, you're going to send the video in the Telegram chat, please. Okay. So do not miss day 2. Okay. June 4th, 6 p.m. We're going to send out the link to you. No replay. Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow. And join the Telegram chat right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it back on the screen for the Telegram chat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor. Actually, one more thing. We do have, it looks like there's maybe a couple more. One application didn't go. Let me check this, make sure it's cool. Did everyone get a chance to submit their application? Just let me ask you that first. Okay, cool. Does anyone need the link again before we wrap up? Okay, okay, Hayden, can you put the link in there, please, to apply to work with Smitty and myself, please? Yeah, because I mean, the thing is, the time dedicated towards actually working with somebody and getting this successful is it takes a lot of time. So that's why we have such a small opportunity to do it. Okay. So while we're getting that out to you, there's the link again. Make sure everybody gets it. While we're getting that out to you, I'm going to open the floor for some Q&A. What type of questions does everyone have about what we covered today? Okay, I want to stay on track. I know that there's some people on here like insurance. That would be tomorrow. But what questions does anyone have about today? If you can't, hold on. It's hard to make decision off our kind of maybe tomorrow. That's fine. I mean, you're not committing to anything today. It's just the application, right? Are you able to go back at the video if needed? I had to jump. Yes. So we are going to be sending out a replay. So you will get that soon. Can you use the credit inquiry removal as personal as well as business? So that is for personal, because when you get business credit cards, they leverage your personal credit to get the car reporting in your business name. So that is actually used for personal credit. Okay. Running your business credit multiple times doesn't really matter as much. Okay. Is this for someone that hasn't started in business yet? I mean, yes, because either way, like they say you don't even decide to start a car rental business, but you have an idea for business. There's no easier way to get 100K and 0% funding than to do some credit card stacking and get the funding. So my answer is yes to that. Telegram keeps kicking you out. If you want to shoot us an email, we'll make sure we get you in there. Okay, can you share the ebook? Every single person that did show up yesterday should have the ebook by now. If not, I will get my team. I told them today to get it out to everybody, but there is a possibility I missed some of the email addresses. So if you could just shoot your email address again, I can send it over to you. Okay. Can you do salvage titles cars as well? On the private side, you can, but honestly, it's going to be difficult to get car rental insurance with the salvage title. You could still rent the vehicle out on the renter's full coverage insurance, but it's going to be difficult to actually get insurance on those vehicles, right? Not telling you right now, Franklin. Sorry, I know you want to hear it, right? So what's the most common APR of line of credit through traditional bank of funding? It's going to be all over the place. It's usually prime plus a point for business. So whatever that is what you want to look at. Your central time, you missed it. I mean, Erica, we are going to have a replay going out. How quickly is it to get funding if you just open your LLC? You can do it immediately. You don't have to wait at all. There's certain financial products you may have to wait a little bit longer for, like a car in your business name or a line of credit. Some banks want you to be a year old for cars in your business name. Lines of credit, they want you to be open for 2 years. So that's, a brand new LLC, you could definitely you can open an LLC today, and I don't want to say today, but like you can go get it tomorrow. But you want to maybe wait like 30 days and season the bank accounts and stuff. But a brand new LLC can get funding. You can do the same thing I'm telling you right now. So what do you put in the chat? So I want to know what your goal is for how many cars, what your revenue goal is in the Telegram chat, and also what that does for you and your family. And are you showing up for all 3 days? That's what I need to know. Okay. We'll get a replay out. What do you say if the bank asks you what business you're going into? I mean, so what I'd say is what I would do is I tell people if they're not really sure what to say in that situation, I would find whatever industry they have the most experience in and then say that they're consulting for that specific industry. That's what you do, because if they ask you any questions about it, which they're not going to go deep and they're not going to dive into it and ask you all these specific questions, but at least you have more knowledge on it. And then if you're growing that type of business where you have the most expertise in, you know what that business usually needs. And then you're going to explain to them you need the money for this growth. Does that make sense? Totally new, own the LLC. I would like to start fresh. I'm totally new. I only own the LLC. That's fine. You could start. Are you saying you want to start with a new LLC? I only own the new LLC, and I would like to start fresh. You could do that. But keep in mind, when you have an LLC, let's say you have the industry solutions, all that stuff, right? You're going to get a DBA for your car rental business name. And tomorrow we're going to go more into why you need a DBA for your Google My Business and how all the marketing works, okay? I got some people saying that their link isn't working. Maybe we can get another link, but if it's not, are you in the original Telegram chat? If you are, oof, I don't know if I want to post it in there, but yeah, try to get again. But if you want to, what can we do, Hayden, if someone can't get in the group? Let's think about what we need to do there. I will get this ebook out to you. I think I missed some of the actually, let me see if I can just find it for you guys right now. And then I'll just give it to everybody. Would everybody want the ebook of how to grow your car rental business to 10 steps? I'm sorry, grow your car rental business to 10K per month with 10 steps. I'm sure everybody wants that. Okay. So let me get that for you. I'll give it to everybody. Just give me 1 second and I will drop it in here and you guys can all have it, okay? Okay, so all right, share. I usually don't I'm gonna give it out to everybody. Just try not to break anything in here. Where I go? 7 steps. Share, copy, share, share, viewer, copy. Okay, so I'm gonna put the ebook in there. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Here we go. So as opposed to me emailing it to everybody, which is gonna take a long time, it's in there right now, okay? All right. I heard you mention you don't have anything connected to vehicles I heard you mention don't have anything connected to vehicles in your business name. No, I said that you don't want to have anything in your personal name. You want the cars in your business name. And another reason why you want them in your business name, I just put the link for the ebook above. It's a drive. So the reason why you want the cars in your business name, because there's going to be more opportunities for true private car rental insurance. You're not going to be able to get fleet insurance if you have your car in your personal name. So that's another reason why you want to have them in your business name. Yeah, DBA is very important to make you bank friendly, but not if you're saying your DBA is like Frank's Car Rental. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Any other questions from anybody? I think I might have missed a couple. If I did, just please let me know. Okay. What if you hire your website for your car rental? Will there be a problem with the bank when they apply for business credit? No, because you're not going to give them the site. If you guys move forward with me, I can actually give you a just generic site you could use for this type of stuff. When you buy cars at the auction, can you put them in your business name without a dealer's license? Yes. So we have a network of auction connections across the country. What we usually do in those situations is we would guide you through getting pre-approvals in your business name, then going to the auction. On day 3, we're going to talk more about the auction. But if you're familiar with auction dealer's license, the dealer, they have what's called a floor plan. We have access to like over $700,000 in floor plan money. What happens is you'll get your pre-approval either through a credit union, you can put the car in your business name. Our auction connection will consult with you. They'll pick a car. We won't go over a certain amount of the bid. And then what they'll do is you use the pre-approval, you'll purchase the car, clear the floor plan. It will go through an inspection process and be shipped right out to you. That's usually how we do it, okay? What if there's our website? If it's in your personal name, yes. So what you could do is you could refinance your personal vehicle into your business name with Bank of America. Now, the thing is with them is there is certain limitations to the type of vehicles you could do that with. So if it's an older vehicle, we may have to go a different route. So if you owe like, say you only owe like $10,000 in the vehicle, what I would recommend is I would just get a 0% interest business credit card, pay it off, and then register in your business name. Basically, go to the DMV with the transfer of title, I believe, your articles of incorporation, your insurance, and your license. That's all you would need. So it really just depends on a case by case basis how much is the car is to determine what type of loan you could get and how old the car is to determine if you can qualify for the larger banks that do allow you to refinance vehicles in your business name. Okay. Um, no, I meant your business name actually like Velocity Drive Group. So when you're naming your car rental business name, it's very important to, I mean, you could name it anything, but when you're picking your domain, I always recommend that um, you're going to want to pick some of the keywords that people are searching for in your area. So if you're in Detroit, maybe Detroit's best car rental. I know that's long, but no one's actually typing that in. That's just for search engine purposes, so people can find you when they're searching those keywords. But as far as you could name like you could do Velocity Drive Group, that's fine. But you just have to have something specific. That's like what you do to explain that. But I mean, why wouldn't you just name it something that's very generic and you could do your DBA anything you want? I don't know. Is it? Yes, you can. Can I restructure my LLC to low risk? Yes, you can. So there are some states where you could change your NAICS code, but there's also some states that keep a record of it. So you just got to be careful. But I've had people change it. You would change it with the Secretary of State. You could do an amendment. But you also want to make sure you change it and make sure that anywhere you search online where your business is located, it's updated there as well. Okay. Um, I have one of my rentals in my name. Is it a huge problem? No, it's not a huge problem. It just means that you don't want to keep adding more vehicles on your personal credit because it's going to be hard to get funding, the big amounts of funding you need to really scale. Are there certain years, makes, and models of cars that you recommend? Yes, there is. I mean, there's a ton of them. Okay, it really just depends on who you're trying to market to, right? What type of clients you're trying to get. I don't understand how to put cars in my business name. Okay, so it starts with LLC. Starts with good credit. If you don't have good credit on the personal side, you'll need to build up your business credit to make sure that something is reporting in all the different bureaus, Experian, Equifax, SBFE, and Dun& and Bradstreet. Then you can get a car 100% in your business name. But in the beginning is what you would do is you would leverage your personal credit, run your personal credit. You could go to a local credit union, see if they could finance vehicles in their business name. You would get the approval and then you go buy the car, right? You'd get an inquiry on your personal credit, but it would report in your business name, and then you go remove the inquiry like it never happened. I've had my LLC since January 2026 for my cargo van business. I should use the same LLC or the rental business, or how do I get a loan without them checking my personal credit? It depends on what's reporting. I don't know what's reporting on your business. We have no idea. So I don't know the direction to tell you. If you have an 80 paydex score in January 2026, you're gonna probably have to wait till January 2027 to get a car 100% in your business name. But what I would focus on right now is I would focus on getting yourself to an 80 paydex score. So by the time January 2027 hits, you can go get a car 100% in your business name. I just dropped the ebook link again. Um, let me see. Hold on, guys. Let's start off. I mean, if you start off with paid full cars in your name, that is amazing. That's amazing. Okay, cool. All right. I got approved for a car loan under my business, but yeah, the rate on the business side isn't always going to be the best because the way you want to look at it is, um, it's less risk to the bank when it's reporting the business name, right? So they're going to give you a higher APR. Some cases they won't, but most cases it's not going to be the same APR you're going to get on the personal side, just so you know. Hayden, can you drop the membership application again? Someone else missed it, please. Yeah, definitely. If you guys are interested in working with Smitty and I and growing this thing together, submit the application because that's the only way that we know, right? How to purchase cars with Montana LLC and not live there. Tricky. So you obviously have to have the LLC located there. You have to have an address out there. I know people that do it more on like exotics. So it doesn't really make much sense unless you're doing it on a car that's going to save you a decent amount in taxes, honestly, from what I've heard. Um, how do I get a car out of my personal into my business, refinance it, or can a cash on a vehicle and be put in on a, wait, or can you cash on a vehicle and put a vehicle in your LLC as long as you have, yes. So if you can put any vehicle you own into your LLC. That's what I recommend. How do you build your business credit? We kind of went over that earlier today, but there's different accounts and different vendors and different trade lines that you could purchase that would build your different business credit profiles. There's net 30s, which are a little bit slower. There's credible, there's credit safe. You could buy an actual business trade line that will report on your business credit and build it much faster. 3-year-old business, 80 paid X, but income was sketchy due to a health emergency. Can I get approved for? Yes, you can. You can for sure. Yeah, you can get approved. The membership application just dropped again. What's the most funding can get with the 820 FICO score? Shit. Do you have proof of income too, Antoine, with the 820? Do you have proof of the 820? If you got proof, I mean, even just straight like 820, FICO with zero proof of income, I mean, 250 shouldn't be a problem if it's done the right way. You could go more than that if you have proof of income. You can probably get up to $1 million if you're patient. What's the best way to start building business credit with a credit card? So the best way to start building business credit, I mean, I wouldn't say so it's the sequence that I went through before. It's just going after that high limit credit card, making sure you're structured the right way. I mean, Deja, it really just depends on the vehicle, how much you can get per day on a rental. You got to weigh all those options, right? And keep in mind, you're not planning on keeping that vehicle for the whole term, right? You're probably going to get rid of it 12 to 16 months in. So what I would do in that instance is I would say, okay, let me look at a vehicle that's 1 year older, that has 25 to 30,000 more miles on it. Let's see how the depreciation hit. Let's factor in my rental income at like 20, 25 days of the month rented, conservatively. If that rental income and the depreciation makes sense with the interest, that's when I would make a move from there. Yes, you can make a video and get out. You guys don't have to make the video now. So this is what's going to happen. So everyone keeps asking me about price. I'm not going to tell you price today. Tomorrow we're going to tell everyone that actually applied is going to get what's called a fast action bonus, which is basically probably going to be 80% off of what Smitty and I usually charge. That's why it's limited to those 15 to 20 people. Let's say, for instance, you want to take advantage of that fast action bonus tomorrow. We have to have your application, first of all. Second things, we will ask you for a small deposit to speak to our team to go over different financing options, maybe like $500. Those are two things that will happen. But the people that fill out the application today and have showed up and are interested in what we have to offer tomorrow will have the option to put the deposit down. That's the way that we're going to do it. I know people ask me how much it is, but it's just not the way we're going to handle it today. You just have to trust me on this. What if my LLC is inactive since 2020? So you could try to reinstate it. There's certain 2020 might be a little bit too long, to be honest. I don't know. You gotta find out if you can get it reinstated. But I would just reach out to the Secretary of State, see if it's possible. If not, I would just start a new one. Do you have a team helping you cleaning? Yes, we do. We're gonna go over all that tomorrow. We do have a team. Um, Wait, do you have a team? I'm curious because if your credit recently took a hit, but you've already managed to get 4 vehicles and have your private business and trade lines. I'm not really, I guess I'm not understanding the question. David, if you want to just say it again, I'm sorry. You understand these are flying in pretty quick. Um, Hayden, there's gonna be there's messaging is not open inside of the Telegram chat. So could we turn that on? So let me kind of reiterate what happens in the Telegram chat. So here's the questions we want in order to be entered to win the $200. How many cars do you want in your fleet? How much revenue do you want to make per month? What that does for your family? And also, will you be here and show up? And are you all in for all 3 days? That's all I need to know. It's a video. And I know that some people aren't comfortable doing videos, but that's also the ones that do actually record the video. We will pick somebody for a $200 giveaway tomorrow before we get started. Okay. David, I forgot your question. I apologize. Do you have to finance the vehicles to put in your business name if it's already paid off? No, 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 no. If it's already paid off, you would just register it in your business name. That's how that would work. Let me see. How can you send a video? Okay, I got that. I have an LLC and other stuff. Can it help? Yeah, I mean, I have people that have real estate. I mean, I have a clothing line LLC where I have a couple cars in. So it doesn't matter as much. I've had people come through and they'd rather use one of their aged LLCs in order to do this. So with your age LLC, you would just use that. My fault, David. Let me see. I'm gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna scroll back up. Give me 1 second. What was your question? The question was, oh man, how far up is it? That's the question. That's the main question. Um, yeah, it's pretty far up. You guys could ask a couple more questions while I'm looking for this. I mean, yeah, Hayden, maybe you can find David's question. It's pretty far up there. I don't know what it is. How, well done. Do you have a team help, Maria? What do you say in the video? I kind of went over that already. Um, how, what are we doing? Okay. How old can be a maximum mileage? I mean, it depends. If you have a car that you're renting out for DoorDash, Instacart, stuff like that, you can get a car with 150,000 miles on it. Obviously, you want to go through it mechanically, but we have clients that have clients. That makes no sense. We have clients that have cars at 150, 160,000 miles. They may have got it for like 3,500 bucks. They rent it out for 450 a week and it's good to go. Okay. Is Roland Rentals a bad business that will raise red flags and not get funding I need? No, you're just gonna have to say you rent something else out. Maybe it's gonna be like, I don't know, like tables and chairs or something. You just don't want to say you rent out cars. Think of anything else, right? CT car tax would apply to LLC in the fleet. CT car tax, would that apply to the LLC and the fleet? I don't understand what you mean by that. That basically like the taxes is going to be, you mean like the income tax? I know what you mean by that. Can you run this business virtual? So you can run the business virtual. You're going to need, contactless pickup and drop off. But one of the best ways to do it is to get a manager eventually that runs everything for you, which I have right now. Thank you for your response. Can you put the car in your business name if you still owe? If you still owe, you're gonna have to refinance it into your business name. I got one credit card from Chase for 3 grand in my business name. I've been paying out for 4 months. It's good to reapply for more now. So what I would do is I would, first of all, yes. So you can get multiple cards with Chase. That's what happened with me when I first got my first credit card with Chase because I didn't know about everything that I know now. So my first credit card was 3 grand. I think it was the unlimited. I went back in, I got the ink, and I got a $50,000 limit. So yes, you can. You could definitely do that. My LLC's name has rental and transportation. Is it bad? It's not great. But it's as long as you don't say that you're a car rental company, right? they don't like rental and transportation, so it's really not that great, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But what you can do is you can get a new LLC. You could buy an aged LLC. There's plenty of options. So people that want to get right to the point where they're like, hey, I want a LLC that's already has 2 years on it, you can get an aged LLC right from there. We have options for those. If I finance it, I can't use it. Well, driving for Uber is a good idea to offer a car rental. To someone else, offer them a car rental. My average cost per car is a little bit higher. I think my average car is about 60K right now, but I'm going for the more higher end stuff. You don't have to do that. You could do average 10K, you could do 5K, you could do 3,500. Really just depends on what you want to do. How could this work for someone that's already maxed out several business credit cards with 0% rate, but still paying down on cards, also currently in debt? I'm wondering because that's on my business side already. Will I be able to qualify for more business funding to build this business up with cards? I'd like to pay off what I borrow immediately. So there's always other banks. That's what you want to think about. If you're maxed out on banks, what you can do is because sometimes these cards don't even report to your business credit, which is crazy. So what I would do is I would run your Experian report, your business credit report first, see what's reporting, see how your utilization is first. If that isn't too high, what I would do is if there's no other banks in your area that offer business funding, I would get a foreign entity to a state close to you that has different banks. When you get a foreign entity, you're basically saying that you're licensed to do business in another state. You would get a virtual office. You would get a registered agent in that state. You'd go open an account in that state, in that business, and you run the play in a different state. But you first want to find out if you're maxed out on your business credit first, if that makes sense. And then if you are, you could still get cars. You could still get vehicles. Maybe it's difficult to get funding with that LLC, but maybe you start a brand new one and then go to a different state right away with the brand new one. That's what I would do. But check your experience first. Hopefully that made sense. Do I need a certificate of origin if my business is registered in Delaware but operates in Massachusetts? Do I need a certificate of origin if my business is registered in, do I? Oh, shit. We cooking, we're burning food over here, guys. Um, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. All right. So, do I need a certificate of origin to have a business registered? I gotta pause for a second. I can't even hear you guys. Hold on. Well, I'm not sure what that means. Do I need a certificate of origin if I have my business registered in Delaware, but I operate in Michigan? I'm not sure how to answer that. After getting the credit cards, how do you liquidate? So I have a law firm that will liquidate your cards for you. Known, trusted. I've ran hundreds of thousands of dollars through them myself. You basically give them a fee anywhere from 5 to 6% to liquidate it for you. So at this point, do you have anything else we need to know until tomorrow? No, you don't. Get back to work. I know we're just kind of standing asking questions. But keep in mind, like I said, if you are interested in Smitty and I mentoring you, you do have to fill the application out today. That's super important. So if that is something you are interested in, you did not get the link, definitely ask for it again. We have access to aged LLCs. So if I still owe a car, I have to refinance it. Yes. Experian, you could check your business credit. You I don't know if you're going to be able to refi with B of A. If it's already in the Bank of America name, you got to see like how many miles are on it, if it's even worth financing, but they should be able to do it for you, yes. My ALC has logistics, should no, leave it alone. If it's logistics, that's fine. Foreign entity, you basically would go on the state that you're looking to get the foreign entity in and do it in that state. And if you ever have any questions, literally, they're super helpful. Okay. What if you already told the bank you're a car? Go to a different one. To avoid Connecticut vehicle quarterly taxes, I open LLC in New York for, I'm not sure, but we do have a CPA that works with us. If you do decide to jump on board, that would be better suited for that question. What insurance companies you currently use to insure your vehicle? So my off rental depends. Off rental, I might do Roamly. I do have cars that have true commercial car rental insurance through GMI. what I usually try to do now is I usually rent out um on the car rental insurance, the renter's car rental insurance. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit tired here. So I think there's a credible. Hold on one second, guys. Um, so there's different things you could do. I'm sorry, I'm losing. If all the cars need to be in different companies or DBAs, what do you? E-Credible is one that you could purchase a business trade line on, I believe. I'm drawing a blank on the other ones right now. I apologies. If all the cars need to be, and that's how you get to an 80 payment score. Sorry. And you also, David, you may have things that you can self-report yourself. So get an 80 payback score. The least expensive way is to, open up net 30 accounts, but let me just find out the one that I was using before. I'm just drawing a blank on the name of it. But give me 1 second. I want to answer that for you. I think it was um mm, yeah, I have a list of them somewhere, but what I could do is one way you can do it is you open a vendor account with like Uline, Quill, Granger, place a small order of $100 each, pay it 10 days before it's due, or you could just go on to online and you could find companies. I think eCredible is one of them that where you could purchase an aged business trade line or an actual trade line that goes onto your business. That's how you would do it. So do banks look at trucking business? Yes, they do. Can you please send me a link to the application? Okay. Is it good to put your business in a trust? Yes, if you know how to do it the correct way. What if you already told the bank you are a car rental? Like I said, you would just basically go to a different bank. I offer virtual offices in Florida in case someone needs it. Thanks, Carlos. What if I got an age LLC with no business credit? Doesn't matter. You would just basically leverage your personal credit. It's the fastest way to get 0% interest business credit cards. That's what I would do. That's better because it's less risk to the bank the older it is. Yes, you could make apologies. If I need a foreign entity, if I have my business in Delaware but operate, yeah, you probably do. If you're so operating, no one's really going to come to you and say anything, but if you want to get like funding in Massachusetts, yes. But if you want to be above board, I would just get it done because it's going to make your job way easier. Because if you ever want to get funding, you have to use only banks that are in Delaware. You're not going to be go to banks in Massachusetts. So yes, you should do it. Can you create business credit? You could build it. This is day one. I don't know if they're the cheapest. Wyoming's a state that usually people go to because you could remain anonymous. So you get an LLC without your name on it. So you basically can go get like business funding. It's still going to be tied to your social if you leverage your personal credit, obviously, but you can go and like get a Wyoming LLC and not even have your name on it. You could add your name on it when you want to get funding, then remove it off the Secretary of State. So there's a lot of tricky things you do. I have a consulting LLC. Can I use that to add more cars? Yes, you can. Do you know how serious the NAS code is for your business? Yes. So if you're high risk, you should change it. The code that I recommend is going to be using and 541,613. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm running. I'm like, business credit financing in most cases requires a down payment. Depends on what your credit is. It depends on what's reporting in your business. So it doesn't necessarily need that. The NAICS code that I use is 541,613. Is there something that you could show me on how to leverage my personal credit to get business funding? Yes. So I will. It depends on what your credit score is first, right? But I'm gonna just show you the breakdown again so you guys can see it. This is what I would do. I'll pull it for you again. So 720 credit score, no negative items, utilization all bureaus under 25%, minimal increase 4 or less. Ensure you're in low risk category. Go to Chase, open an account, put 2K in, season it for 10 days. Work with a relationship manager. I would state for Chase that you make about $500,000 a year. They'll give you 10% of what you state. And then I would just run down the list, use the actual script that I use to remove the inquiries as you move along, and then go from there. Okay. If my company name is Midwest Logistics and Fleet, what's a good idea to tell a bank? Like I would say, I would just find whatever business you're most have the whatever industry you have the most experience in. And then that's what your business will be about. We could talk about that more, but it's just more like, hey, we're a logistics company. We help. Let me think. I would say I would go to Chat GPT. I would type in, I'm looking for an explanation to a bank that doesn't consider me high risk. The name of my business is Midwest Logistics. I need to come up with a simple business idea of what I could explain to them that does not make me sound high risk. Literally, there you go. AZ is $50 to start LLC. Yeah, it's $50 to start. But if you want to expedite it, you're gonna actually have to. All right, so I'm gonna do this for you guys real quick. Okay, so I would literally go to very, very simple. And if you're not using Chat GPT and all AI for your business, start. It's a lifesaver at this point. I couldn't live without it. All right, so I would go here. I would say, oops. I have a logistics company and I want to talk to a bank. I need to come up with a simple business idea that would explain to them of me being low risk, that wouldn't raise any red flags, but I don't have any ideas for what business that. Can you give me an idea of what I could tell them? There you go. We provide transportation coordination, logistics service for business. We arrange and manage freight shipments for our clients and earn revenue through service fees and transportation. But I mean, this is a breakdown. I'm basically going to just copy and paste this for you. I know that everybody doesn't want to see this, but at least you'll have it. Okay. All right, guys. 541613 is the code, just so you know. I can't even paste this. There we go. I'm gonna have to just do the script because it won't let me paste all that, but you guys get the idea of how that works. Just go to chat, switch it up a little bit, go from there. Okay. So about to wrap things up. Like I said, if you are interested in working with Smitty and myself, definitely make sure you fill out the application. If you need the link again, just let us know. There's the link again. Awesome, guys. Hopefully everyone got something out of this. Who will be here tomorrow? Type a one in the chat if you're coming tomorrow, please. Because tomorrow we're talking about marketing. We're talking about the private booking portal, how we could offer insurance, how we could verify insurance, how we could charge 20 to 40% more than anyone can on Turo, how we could build up a database that you're never going to be slow. Smitty's going to jump on. Day 2 is going to be very, very powerful. It's going to be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. We did put the link of the ebook in the chat. I'll do it again. As you guys can imagine, it's been a little bit crazy, but here's the ebook again for you guys. Just please grab that. Click on that. Everyone click on that and grab the ebook before we jump off. Okay. Yes, it is. I think it is. The code is 541613. 541613 is the code. And I'm gonna leave you guys with another person that we helped. I've been working with this guy for a few years now. Okay. When we started with him, he actually only had like, I believe, I don't even want to know. I think he had like 5 cars or something, but we basically changed everything for him. Let me just pull this up for you guys real quick and then we can get rolling, okay? All right, I'll play this last testimonial for you, and then we're pretty much going to wrap it up after that. But I hope everybody got something out of this. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm gonna play this real quick.
What it took me three.
Definitely one of the biggest things in the car rental space is like, trying to do everything on your own when it comes to marketing, going private and everything. How has your experience been with the team and myself so far?
Well, James, you've helped me out a lot. What it took me 3 to 5 years to figure out with mistakes along the way, it's really brought me a big step forward. You bringing in the team to assist us in listing, closing, just very.
Yeah, you guys can't hear that, right? You guys hear that okay? Yeah, it's very low on this. Yeah, so let me see if I can get it to you guys another way. If you guys want to bear with me for a second, I'll get it to you. Just give me 1 second. You can hear it? All right. I don't know why everybody can't hear it. What I'm going to do is, okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm probably gonna do this a different time, but what I want to do is make sure that everyone has like the breakdown of what to do for the Telegram chat, and to be able to be entered for the $200. So let me get back over here real quick. Here's a Telegram chat. I'm gonna play the video one more time before I take off. I know it's kind of low, but maybe you guys can put it up to your ear. Telegram chat is you're gonna go in there, enter in on a video, how many cars you want, revenue goal, what it means to you, and you and your family, and also, are you planning on being here for the next 2 days? That's what you do. So that's the Telegram chat. We will also put the link in the actual chat again. I'm gonna try to get this testimony out to you guys a different way. I know it's gonna be a pain to hear it. Let me see if I have it. Oh. All right. So what I'll do in closing is what we're going to do is the people that are interested in applying to work with Smitty and myself, that is the code you use to actual scan it, fill out the application, and we will obviously look those over. Like I said, there's very limited spots, 15 to 20, so we can't choose everybody. So make sure you do fill it out, okay? All right, guys, everyone have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow, okay? The code you didn't get. What code? 541613 is the code. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. Let's go Spurs tonight, right? There you go. Before we take off, who's everybody got to win tonight? Spurs or Knicks? Spurs. Spurs, Knicks. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and hope everyone has a good night. Thank you so much.